We called it. The Separatists are getting love. They're back on the up and up and up, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Arnold Holland News, the only news every day because you have no other choice. And I wasn't expecting this. We had a feeling the Separatists were gonna get back on the march. Something was coming out of that factory line, and Geonosis. But a vehicle, our first vehicle inside a Star Wars galaxy of heroes. General Grievous is gonna get a massive boost from this unit. Woo! In case you guys can't tell, I am super excited about this. I mean, the last time, for those that maybe weren't around in Galaxy Heroes for as long as I've been, 5 years ago, a half decade ago, was the last time we got real Separatist love. The General Grievous rework, Droideka, B1, the B2, and Magna Guard rework. And Trench doesn't count, by the way, so that doesn't count. This is really the next big thing. But I wasn't expecting a vehicle. It's the Stap, the single trooper aerial platform. Now, I have a lot of questions about the unit itself here. Now, Capital Games many moons ago, they were talking about maybe developing a vehicles type of game mode. And it was gonna happen, they confirmed this happened, they scrapped it. Did they just maybe decide that they'll just release some vehicles as individual units to play in, or a brand new, maybe it'll build up to a vehicles game mode? I don't know. I'm just happy it's finally here. I think we had a feeling Separatists are gonna get love. We were expecting Kalani, a commando droid, sniper droid. This, I don't think was on anyone's radar. Well, let me not keep it any more suspense. I don't know, something about just Separatist love and General Grievous, getting better. I haven't used them in Grand Arena in a meaningful way for a long time. Sometimes I'll do something, but it's a little dicey, and it's got to be something that's a BB-8 and stuff like that. This is meant to make the full Separatist team viable in Grand Arena, and Droideka's viable inside of territory. So, all right, attacker, droid, Separatist, no vehicle tag. They're gonna add that later on. I don't know, but here we go. Normally I skip this part, but I'm just really excited about this. When we were looking for new units to add that were iconic to the episode 1 for the 25th anniversary this year, I told you you guys said I'm crazy. Okay, I'm crazy, but not crazy in this regard. They said the Stap jumped out as their favorite early unit. I can't read right now. I'm just so excited. I missed out on like half the words in there. Anyways, Stap was one of the first toys made for the Phantom Menace. Cool. While the player obtainable version is in the Separatist coloring to match the droids for the squad, we designed it for General Grievous. We did have the RT make a version in Trade Federation coloring for possible use in upcoming events. Is this gonna be like a fully fledged game mode like ships? There's pros and cons to it, or is it gonna be like maybe a designated raid? I don't know. I'm excited. Okay, we'll wait and see when it happens. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I'm sure you guys will go wild in the comments about this. And so strategy tips. We need to recharge. Just about guarantees a turn 1 target lock, and pinned, a new mechanic we have, pinned application to the enemy of your choosing when targeting the B2 Super Battle Droid. And Stap is naturally really fast. As we're gonna see if the Grand Red Omicron, this thing is packing lots of turns. It can go faster. Get this character speed up, and it will run circles around your opponent. So we have Provoked. It's gonna be part of the kit, and Provoked is only in a couple of things out there, like the Wookiees, for example. Why is it on this team? Provoked is effective against teams with a lot of attacks out of turns. We're talking Resistance. We're talking Captain Rex. Things that really just solidify. People get mad when I say like Grievous's destruction, demise. It's just, he lost his edge. That's all it is. And 2023 was not kind to him at all, and was chosen for that reason. While there is some anti-synergy with this debuff and General Grievous's leader ability preventing counterattacks, it still works quite well against teams that have a lot of assists that call as provoked targets, all attack out of turn, not just counterattacks. Okay, let's get to the actual kit. Basic ability, checkpoint, deal physical damage to target enemy and inflict target lock for 2 turns over. Target lock, General Grievous lead prevents counterattacks, all that fun stuff. If they already have target lock, instead you're gonna inflict pinned, as we have a little description here, for 2 turns, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. And this attack can't be evaded. Unavoidable basic, that's pretty nice. I mean, General Grievous has unavoidable attacks. It's gonna be nice to have a little bit more of that. So what pin does, can't gain bonus turn meter, has minus 25% speed. Chopping off a quarter speed right there does not stack with breach fracture or speed down. So really slowing down the enemy team, because 2023, with Zori, Captain Rex, and a couple of things in between, speed is kind of crazy. So if you have something that's really fast, we don't know what the base speeds are until the data mines show up. So let's get ready to see that. This could be, what if this is like the new fastest unit? like faster than Gideon, faster than Echo. I'm curious to see how fast they're talking here. Anyways, die, Jedi dogs. Cooldown up 2. Deal physical damage to all enemies, which can't be evaded by Jedi. Inflict provoked on all enemies for 2 turns. Deal damage again to pinned enemies. Again, what does this mean? Well, it's hard to say. The Jedi thing is interesting for me, mainly because what was the first like bread and butter counter to General Grievous when he got his rework? Jedi Knight Revan. But in territories, we're seeing things like Keller and Beck kind of pick up a lot of steam at a couple other type of Jedi teams out there. So it's gonna be interesting to see, getting this unavoidable attacks, and when you have foresight, you can ignore that. So again, interesting to see what the damage looks like. Again, it sounds like it could be a lot. It's it's an attacker. I'm guessing it's gonna be a lot. Again, we have to wait and see when we test out this baby later on this week. Man, I'm stoked for this. Special 2, we need to recharge. Cooldown on 4, recover 20% health and protection, and gain 5 stacks of overcharge, which can't be copied or prevented. Target ally attacks, then the Stap assist. Now, all this is cool and all, but really, it's coming down to a lot of words. Usually, lot words means lot better. If you want to keep it simple. So let me walk you through it. So before the Grand Arena Omicron kicks in, the Stap gains 10 speed for each stack of overcharge in him. So I'm curious what the base speeds are, how much faster this can get, but I don't want to spoil it. I'm going to spoil it, actually. You're going to get bonus turns, so this thing's going to be blazing fast. At the start of the battle, if all allies are Separatist droids, whenever an ally inflicts pinned or target lock at an enemy, they also inflict damage. Check this out. So if they have pinned or target lock, and there's a lot of target lock on a Grievous team, you're going to inflict damage equal to 10% of the max health damage to the enemy. Let me reread this, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just really excited about this. All right. When you apply pinned or target lock, they also inflict damage equal to 10% of their max health damage to that enemy, which can't be evaded. My suspicion is here, because Newt Gunray was kind of the ideal member you wanted in a Grievous squad. That unique ability Newt was so nice. We could tell that CG really wants Newt to stay with Trench. Okay. So they're adding this to kind of compensate for that, I think. And then whenever the Stap uses an ability other than we need to recharge, they lose a stack of overcharge. Let's keep moving though. Check this out. Whenever Stap or an allied Separatist droid tank takes true damage from an enemy, all Separatist droid allies, they'll lose 15% Terminator. It seems a little bit odd, right? Now this seems to be calling out Bad Batch specifically. It's a bit weird. On paper, I'm going to reread the rest of this, but on paper it sounds like this is meant to be a detriment to the team. So when you have Bad Batch, they start rolling, they're going to tear this apart. Maybe they want Bad Batch to still be like the staple counter to this potentially. But let's get into the Grand Arena Omicron. Maybe it'll make a little bit more sense. I'll admit, this feels like this just might be a bouncing act here. While in Grand Arenas and all allies are Separatist droids, so no more Newt Gunray, no more BB-8s, Stap gains a bonus turn at the start of the battle with an additional bonus turn whenever an enemy takes their first turn. So you're going to start out the battle. You probably don't want to do, you want to get the overcharge. Going to be interesting to see if maybe you're going to open up with that, open up with this ability. So you're basically getting 2 bonus turns. You're going to get a bonus turn, and then whenever the other team finally gets a turn, like let's say Finn starts rolling, you're going to get a turn before they start doing anything. So when Stap gains overcharge, all allies, this is nuts. And this makes me want to believe this is why you want to do, we need to recharge. First here, whenever Stap gains overcharge, all ally gains 20% max health stacking for the rest of the battle and recover 10% health and protection. Guys, I don't know if you recall, but General Grievous loves doing damage based on his max health. And Grievous already has ways to ramp up his health. Adding this on top of it, I am ecstatic. I'm looking forward to see what type of damage Grievous is going to be able to churn out when he has this. Again, it's an unlimited ceiling. There is no cap associated with that. Whew. So, yeah, that's kind of a big deal. That's why that's why they said it's meant to boost General Grievous, literally right there. I think it makes sense. Right there, we could just stop reading, but we got more. Enemy clone troopers have minus 30% offense, and when they are inflicted with pinned or target lock, they also receive additional damage equal to 10% of their max health. So 20% in total, which can't be evaded. And then Separatist droids no longer lose Terminator when Stap or allied Separatist droids tanks take true damage from enemies. So it seems like my imagination is the reason why this is here is it's meant to penalize you when you're not in Grand Arena, right? Because when you get into Grand Arena and you have the Omicron, it's not a problem anymore. So my guess is this is simply a balancing act. So maybe in like territory wars, if you see this on defense, you use Bad Badge. But in territories, I think they want to incentivize you to use the Droidica and the standard team in that regard. So it's a little bit weird, I will admit, but in Grand Arena, it's a non-issue basically at this point. So first impressions, I mean, it sounds like this team's going to be crazy fast, crazy durable. It's going to get a lot of health, protection, recovering team. So the survivability team is going to be so much longer in association with the Grievous team. I'm really curious to see what those speeds are. I think Grievous, I was hoping Grievous would get the Omicron. That's my one gripe there. And I guess we'll have to wait and see what this upcoming event is going to be all about. Remember, this isn't a vehicle. It's not like there's a pilot for said vehicle. It's just literally a unit, I guess is what we should be calling it. It's not a character. It's a unit for our vehicle, I suppose. So I don't know, a lot of questions. We're still waiting for a road ahead. Maybe a road ahead will enlighten us a little bit more. All I can hope for is that maybe we'll get a little bit more Separatist love. I mean, come on, just a little bit more. I don't know. I'm excited, guys. It's just something about the Clone Wars, the Separatists, Grievous. It's always got me excited. If you guys remember the history of me, like General Grievous, I was one of the first people to get General Grievous like for free. And it was a big deal back then. Like I had to lose tons of currency for the shard shop. And the funniest thing is finally when I 7-starred Grievous, they made him so much easier to get. But nonetheless, I'm passing the ball over to you guys. Let me know down below, what are your initial impressions of the Stap? Is it going to be bringing the Separatists back to its former glory, or will things get pretty gory? I don't know what I'm trying to say. All I'm saying is I'm excited. I love you. And there's one more thing, Gary. Oh, yeah. It's great to be in the Empire today.
It's great to be in the Empire today. The sun never sets.